The Marais Executioner Sword is the successive attack build sword. The Ash of War demolishes enemies, spinning like nothing else, and boosts our damage to unmatched levels. We can pile on the damage multipliers and shred bosses even on max New Game Plus. The Marais Executioner Sword is a legendary armament and is a boss drop. Ride your way north to the Shaded Castle, and Elmer of the Briar will be waiting for you in the highest room. Beat him down, and he'll drop the sword directly in your inventory. The weapon is a greatsword, and gives us the greatsword moveset for the light attack. Because the sword was previously a weapon for beheading, the heavy attacks are 2 overhead chops. The light attack and heavy attack can help increase successive attack power to aid in the use of the Ash of War. Aoheide's Dancing Blade not only does astronomical amounts of damage, but it looks cool while doing it. The Ash of War is a single button press with 2 inseparable parts. The first part sends the blade ahead of you in a spinning tumult that blends away enemy HP. This greatly increases successive attack power and deals more damage on every hit, with the last hit in the spin doing the most damage. The second part of the Ash of War is a swing that does even more per hit damage. You can use this Ash in a charged or uncharged variant. The charged move will do more damage and have greater range, but will take longer to execute than the uncharged version of the already long attack animation. In some late game bosses, you may have to rely on the uncharged version, as this build is highly offensive focused and will not survive multiple late game attacks. For these foes, you may want to save the charged Aoheide's Dancing Blade for a poise break. For this build, I casted Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength. Golden Vow increases our attack power by 15% and damage negation by 10%. The 10% increase in defense will help us if we get hit during that long attack animation. Flame Grant Me Strength will increase our physical damage by 20%. The weapon is split between magic and physical, however most of our damage will be physical. We start a fight with the Flask, Golden Vow, and Flame Grant Me Strength. I used a few Starlight Shards throughout the playthrough to regen some FP if we need to use the Dancing Blade a few more times with our limited FP supply. We can shut down some early game bosses with a single L2. For late game bosses, build up your AR throughout the fight, and use that signature move whenever you have the opening. Let me know in the comments if you've used this successive attack power beast before. I've known about the sword's potential for years before I used it in this run, and I gotta admit, it did not disappoint in the slightest. For more videos like this every single Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, be sure to like and subscribe to TheJerseySide. For talismans, we need the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia and Millicent's Prosthesis. These are our first and second successive attack power boosting items. The Shard of Alexander will increase the power of Aoheide's Dancing Blade directly. Finally, we can use the Godfrey icon to power up charged attacks, or the Dragon Crest Great Shield for physical damage negation if you know you won't be charging that L2. The tiers are the Thorny Crack tier for the third and final successive attack power boost, and the Bloodsucking Crack tier for 20% more power behind all of our attacks. Much like the Godfrey icon, for tougher fights where you don't want that health drain, feel free to switch this one out for the Opaline Horror tier for 15% more damage negation. Our stats at RL 170 are 60 Vigor, 20 Mind, 35 Endurance, 54 Strength, 25 Faith to use the incantations, and 32 Arcane. The weapon has a 14 dex requirement that everyone will meet, because the prosthesis increases effective dexterity by 5, and every starting class has at least 9 points invested. The Marais Executioner Sword is a legendary armament and is well deserving of this title. It uses the successive attack power build mechanic and takes it to its logical conclusion. Unrivaled jumps in attack rating, and easily dealing high quadruple digit damage numbers, ending fights faster than you ever have before.